Shopping for a new or used vehicle? Or just looking for a place for good, reliable service? Go with the name you know. Gullo Ford, Gullo Mazda, and Gullo Toyota. The Gullo family has been serving the Conroe Woodlands area since 1970. So the next time you're shopping for a new or used vehicle or just need service, do yourself a favor and go see Gullo Toyota, Gullo Mazda, and Gullo Ford. Or log on anytime at GulloAuto.com. Gullo, let's drive.
It's not enough to be the leader in robotic-assisted procedures if we're not by your side for every step of your recovery, guiding you back to what makes you, you. Because it's not enough to replace your knee if we're not getting you to the moments that can't be replaced. Memorial Hermann, advancing health, personalizing care.
For over 40 years, Woodforest National Bank has proudly supported the youth and schools of this great community. Our bank has grown through the years, and Montgomery County is our home. With over 30 convenient branch locations right here in Montgomery County, we are your community bank. Next time you're in the area, stop by and say hi. But for now, sit back and enjoy the game.
Our team at Buckaloo Chevrolet works hard every day to deliver a better car buying experience to every single customer. Just check out our reviews. Amazing to work with, great customer service. They really care are just a few of the things our customers are saying about us. So if you're looking for a better selection, a better car buying experience, and of course, a better buy, head to Buckaloo Chevrolet today, one of Houston's fastest growing Chevy dealers. We're on I-45 in Conroe or shop BuckalooChevrolet.com. And remember,
it's a better buy at Buckaloo.
You've got a lot going on, so how do you find time to take care of you? At Houston Methodist, we work around your busy life. There's same-day visits when you're sick, online scheduling with specialists, access to all your records through MyChart, and video visits 24/7 if you need urgent care. Bringing you Houston Methodist's expertise, wherever, whenever you need it.
That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Good evening, folks. We are live at Moorhead Stadium for a beautiful night of Friday night football. 79 degrees right now and just about 10 minutes from kickoff. Oak Ridge War Eagles getting ready to face off against the Conroe Tigers. Conroe coming in with a 3-2 record. Oak Ridge sporting a 1-3 record. Oak Ridge going to try to break up a 3-game losing streak, whereas Conroe looking to recover after a pretty disheartening defeat last week to the Woodlands, 63-7. It should be a good night of football here. We've got a big crowd still coming into the stadium, and the home side of the stands are filling up pretty full. We've got a lot of future Golden Girls visiting on the sidelines, and the Pete Junior High cheerleaders. It looks like the Stockton Junior High cheerleaders are here as well, so a lot of feeder schools represented here at Moorhead. My name is Nick Krall, and I am from Crier Intermediate, which is another feeder school for Conroe. I will play it straight down the middle, though. We've got two great teams facing off tonight, and it should be pretty exciting. A 7:08 sunset, so we've just got a little bit of time left with daylight, and then the sun will set, and we'll get even cooler out here at Moorhead Stadium. So like I said, Conroe's coming off a 63-7 loss to the Woodlands. However, a 3-game winning streak preceded that, so a pretty good start to the season for Conroe. They find themselves 2-1 in district play. Oak Ridge 0-2 so far in district play. Looking ahead next week, Conroe will face an undefeated New Caney team, and New Caney has a bye this week, so they will come in undefeated next week, whereas Oak Ridge will face off against Grand Oaks down at Woodforest Bank Stadium next week. We've got to get through this matchup first, though. It's just about 8 minutes till kickoff, and in just a moment, we will get the junior ROTC to bring the colors out on the field. We'll get a performance of the national anthem, and then we'll be ready for the coin toss here. Oak Ridge comes in with the second-ranked offense in the district. They average about 410 yards a game. Most of that on the ground, but it's a pretty even split. Conroe, 5th in the district in offense. just about 370 yards a game. They lean a little bit more on passing than rushing, but they too are a pretty balanced offensive attack. These defenses, Oak Ridge comes in ranked 6th, Conroe 7th. They are pretty even with total yards allowed per game. However, Oak Ridge tends to do a little bit better against the rush, whereas Conroe more successful against the passing game. Those are the future Golden Girls getting their chance to come out onto the field here at Moorhead. And a few of those are students from the school that I work at. And I'm sure most of the Conroe feeder schools are well represented this evening as they come out to present themselves as the future Golden Girls here at Conroe High School. And just about midfield, the Oak Ridge War Eagle giving the girls a performance of his own. Before we get too far into the broadcast, I want to thank the people behind the scenes who put this on the YouTube channel for y'all to enjoy. That's Andrew Stewart. He's our main man, the site supervisor. And everybody else behind the scenes, Ryan Dickey, Robert Davidson, Benji Clay, Garrett Rickwalt, Eliana Del Aguila, Abby Johnson, and again, I'm Nick Krall. Very happy to be here tonight. I had last Friday off. I was at the Crier Cat Pride party, and we had a blast over at my school to celebrate all the successes that our students have had this year, but I'm glad to be back in the booth this evening. The last game that I got to call was a 28-24 homecoming victory for Conroe over Willis. The story of this game might come down to turnovers, as Conroe, their turnover margin is 0. So they don't really have a turnover ratio. Same number of turnovers as takeaways, whereas Oak Ridge is -8. And that might prove to be the difference in this game. We're just about 5 minutes from getting started here. Looks like we're going to get either a bit of a performance from the future Golden Girls here or just a presentation of all the young ones who aspire to do all the fun things in high school in the near future. And there are quite a lot of them out there. It looks like the choir getting ready to warm up and deliver the national anthem this evening. As the Oak Ridge War Eagles are making their way into the back of the end zone to make their dramatic entrance through the large War Eagle inflatable, and the Conroe football Tigers doing the same as they exit their locker room. Just a little over 4 minutes till we will get started here this evening. This is the first night since the season started that it truly feels like football weather, and it will only get a little bit cooler as this night progresses. But it is nice to say that we are in the 70s at kickoff. And we just have a beautiful weekend to look forward to here in Montgomery County as well. Oak Ridge will be running on the field from the east end of the end zone, and on your screen you see the Conroe Tiger. And here come the Conroe Tigers as they're getting ready for kickoff in just over 2 minutes from now. Coming on the field with their gold jerseys, white pants, black helmets, as they get ready to take on the Oak Ridge War Eagles. War Eagles have already made their entrance during the hype video. They are in the west end zone as they're now heading to their sideline. They're in the visitor white jerseys, blue pants, blue helmets tonight. Again, Conroe coming in with a 3-2 record on the season. They're 2-1 in district play. Oak Ridge 1-3 on the season, and so far winless in district play. They are 0-2. Oak Ridge lost to New Caney last week, 35-21. Conroe 63-7 on the bad end of that score to the Woodlands last week. Both teams look like they are raring to go. We've got to get the color presentation onto the field. We'll get the national anthem here very shortly, and then we will get ready for the coin toss. Scoreboard says minute 15. Might be just a touch more than that. And I'll take a brief break so we can all listen to the national anthem.
And it is being presented tonight by a combined choir from Conroe High School and Oak Ridge High School. Colors are being brought out this evening by the Conroe High Junior ROTC. And the following members are right guard, Cadet Corporal Ethan Edwards. Left guard, Cadet Corporal Thomas Stanley. Carrying the U.S. flag is Cadet First Sergeant Nolan Yassa. And carrying the Texas state flag is Cadet Private First Class Ian Portillo. Please join me in standing until the colors have exited the field. Thank you.
And a really cool act of sportsmanship there that you sometimes only get at the high school games. We had both the Conroe and Oak Ridge choirs combined for that performance in the national anthem, and a very good one at that. We are ready for the coin toss here at Moorhead Stadium. We are in the upper 70s. We're just about 8 minutes away from sunset, so it'll get even cooler out here and feel like perfect fall football weather as we're getting ready for a good district game between Oak Ridge and Conroe. Both teams coming off of losses, so they'll try to turn it around tonight against one another, so we should be in store for a pretty good game of football. The stands are looking pretty full. We've got the future Golden Girls on the field. I see some former students of mine in the stands. It's hard to get their attention, so they don't even know that I'm sort of spying on them from the press box right now. I always like to give a shout out to Crier Intermediate, and I told my friend D that I would mention him on tonight's broadcast. His brother plays for Conroe. He's either here in the stands or possibly at home. I told him if he doesn't make it to the game, he better turn on the Conroe ISD Athletics YouTube channel to catch the game there, and I'd give him a shout out. So D, I hope you're listening, and if not, I hope you're here at the stadium enjoying a good one tonight with everybody else who made it out to Moorhead. The officials are ready at midfield, sending the captains out for the coin toss, and we should be underway here in just a moment. Both teams come in with some highly ranked quarterbacks in district. Javarius Hatchett, the senior quarterback for Conroe, is the second-ranked passer in the district with just over 1,000 yards on the season. He's got about a 56% completion percentage and a 9-to-6 touchdown to interception ratio. Steve Smedley, starting quarterback for Oak Ridge, has thrown for 793 yards on the season. He also has a 56% completion percentage, and he's thrown 3 touchdowns to 5 picks so far this year. Coin toss happening right now. Conroe wins the toss. They will defer to the second half, so they'll get the ball in the second half. Oak Ridge receive it here in the first. Oak Ridge will be defending the west end zone, so they'll have first possession going from right to left on the screen. And we are minutes away from this game getting underway. So on the rushing side of the offense, Frankie Arthur is the leading rusher for Oak Ridge with 462 yards on the season. He averages 9.83 yards per carry and has 5 touchdowns on the season. And the top rusher for Conroe is Dramico Green, 261 yards on the season, followed very closely by Nick Medina. He's rushed for 252 yards on the season, and Dramico is actually the brother of D, one of my favorite students at Crier this year. All right, both teams out, ready for kickoff. Oak Ridge has 2 players back deep, one on the 5, one on the goal line. And let's hope for an exciting game tonight. It is perfect football weather. We still have people waiting to get in. Stands are getting packed. The ball is on the tee. We are ready to get started here. Thank you for joining us, folks. This kick has got us underway. It's going to be fielded at the 1-yard line and advanced to the 10, over to the 15, makes a move to the 20, grabbed by the ankle and brought down right at the 20-yard line. That's where Oak Ridge will get started on their first possession tonight. Oak Ridge is going to come out with a 3 wide receiver set, operating out of the shotgun with 1 running back and an H-back closer to the line off to the right. Quarterback with a quick drop, looking to throw, evades the 1 rush, but then brought down for a sack. Conroe defense in the backfield quickly on that play. It's a loss of 7 or 8 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 18. Oak Ridge going with 5 wide receivers set. Stacked formation on the right-hand side. Quick throw to his left. Complete on the sideline. Brought out of bounds short of the 20. Down at about the 18-yard line. Pickup of a couple yards will bring up a 3rd and 12. 11:17 on the clock. We're just getting started here. Two wide receivers on either side of the line, one running back. Quick drop, looking to throw, chased out of the pocket. Throws on the run, wide open man at midfield, nobody around him. If he's got the wheels, he will run this into the end zone, and it does not look like anybody will catch him. And the first score on a 3rd and long goes to the Oak Ridge War Eagles. I'm not entirely sure how that man became so open in the middle of the field. Perhaps we'll catch it on the replay here. 6-0, quick lead for Oak Ridge. Not even a minute off the clock, 59 seconds into this game. War Eagles lead 6-0 as they get ready to tack on an extra point. Kick is up and good. Oak Ridge with a quick 7-0 lead. After a Conroe sack, put them back at 2nd and 18. And a short gain, followed by a long completion for the touchdown. Conroe will try to respond with a score of their own. They have yet to have their first possession, so on this kickoff, we will see how they can advance the ball against this Oak Ridge defense. Oak Ridge started the season with a 23-13 win over Brenham. And then they lost 3 in a row to Stratford, followed by a loss to the Woodlands, and then a loss to New Caney. Next week, Oak Ridge looking to take on Grand Oaks. Conroe started the season with a tough loss to Katy Pato, 14-3, followed by a huge win against Eisenhower. And then they defeated Caney Creek, followed by a homecoming victory over Willis before dropping last week's game to the Woodlands. And next week, Conroe will face New Caney. We're not looking past this game, though, folks, as Oak Ridge now getting ready to kick off. 3 deep for Conroe. This is a very high and short kick. A fair catch called for. It's a live ball, and it looks like Oak Ridge recovered this. I'm not sure what the call is. Not a traditional onside kick, but high and short and unable to be fielded by Conroe. So it does appear as though Oak Ridge has possession deep inside Conroe territory following that kickoff that seemed to have taken the Tigers by surprise. And the War Eagles with their second possession of the game following the first score of the game. So Conroe taken by surprise on that kickoff. I'm not sure if by design or by default, but Oak Ridge with the ball again from the Conroe 28. This is a play-action pass. Quarterback rolls to his left, has a man open, complete at the 10, and into the end zone for another quick score from the War Eagles. They quickly go up 13-0 on Conroe. And that kickoff and drive took all of 11 seconds off of the clock. We have 10:50 left in this quarter. And if it was a quick start that Oak Ridge was looking for, then the War Eagles have delivered. 13-0, pending this extra point try. Looking to go up by 14. Good snap. Good looking kick. And the War Eagles do go up 14-0. Conroe is going to collect themselves on the sidelines. Special teams figuring out what to do on this kickoff so as not to have a repeat of that last one. A high, very short kick, unable to be recovered by Conroe, resulting in a one-play touchdown for the War Eagles. We have 10:50 left in the first quarter. We've barely gotten started. Oak Ridge off to a quick lead, 14-0. Conroe going to get their second chance here. They've got 3 players back for the receiving team here. On about the 6-yard line, the 3-yard line, and then the middle man on the goal line. Those three deep didn't even have a chance at the last kickoff. Let's see what happens on this one. They're going to try, not quite similar. This one going to be recovered at the 13-yard line. Looked like the return man trying to see if that would bounce out of bounds, but it took a Oak Ridge bounce. He had to field it and advance it, made it up to about the 26-yard line, and that's where Conroe will start for their first offensive series tonight. So we have 10:46 left in the quarter at 7:12. We are 4 minutes past sunset. It's going to drop in temperature, and it's kind of neat to see some long sleeves and sweatshirts out on this evening as we are in the final day of September, and fall has finally arrived in Montgomery County. 4 wide receiver set. Man in motion. Pass complete to number 3. He makes some moves onto the outside, advances the ball close to the 35-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 33. It's a gain of about 7, and it'll bring up 2nd and 3. Lewis Williams III on the reception, and you'll hear his name a lot if I can catch the numbers all night. Puts the running back in motion, lining up wide left. Number 13 in motion, and it's a fake handoff. Quarterback keeper, gain of about 2 yards up to the 35-yard line, and that'll bring up a 3rd and short. Looks like they need 1 yard to pick up the first down. Four wide receivers for Conroe, 1 running back in the backfield with the quarterback in shotgun. Takes a snap, it's a handoff to number 7, makes a move up the middle, has room to run, breaks all his tackles. He is off to the races, folks, and he will probably make it into the end zone. There is no probably about it. Conroe in for the first score. And that is Dramico Green, the sophomore running back. That is Dee's brother. And they needed 1 for the first down, and he gave them everything. Conroe needed that score to stay competitive in this game. Oak Ridge off to that quick 14-0 lead, but now we are back in this ball game. And this extra point kick is up and good. 14-7, Oak Ridge maintains the lead. Conroe with their first score of the evening. A great move by Green through those tackles right there, and then he is behind everybody, and nobody's going to catch him at that point. Not a whole lot of time off the clock in this first quarter, and we already have 3 scores. 9:34 left. War Eagles are 2 for 2 on scoring on their first 2 possessions, and they'll look to keep that streak going here. Following this kickoff, 2 men back. Place the man on the right hash marks around the 5-yard line, left hash marks on the goal line. Kick is gonna go deep into the end zone. Fair catch caught. They'll spot this at the 25. That's where Oak Ridge will start with their 3rd series of the game. Conroe defense on the first series had a sack and a quick tackle before a big passing touchdown for Oak Ridge's first score of the game. And then on Oak Ridge's 2nd possession, it only took 1 play to get it into the end zone, and that was also a passing play. They'll try it on the ground this time. Runs into a lineman, tries to make a move on the outside, maybe gains 2 yards before being brought down. Second and 8, just over 9 minutes left in the quarter. Not a lot of time ticked off. These have been quick scores, quick drives. Three wide receivers bunched on the left, one split wide right, one running back in the backfield, and Oak Ridge not liking what they see, have to call a timeout. That's their first timeout of the evening. Just inside of 9 minutes left in this quarter, 8:52 to be exact. Ball is on the Oak Ridge 27-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8 when we come out of this timeout. And it's a little early for the dance cam because, as you can see, folks are a little bit too into the game. Here we go. You got to get the younger ones on. And you see the crowd who is not interested about being on the dance cam. The band always interested. There we go. One girl knew she was on the dance cam. All right, we're out of the timeout. The score is 14-7 Oak Ridge. They're faced with the 2nd and 8 coming out of that timeout. Quick pass to the right at the line of scrimmage. Makes a move to gain a couple of yards before being met by a group of tacklers. Conroe stops them at about the 29-30 yard line. That'll be up a 3rd and 5. Oak Ridge has had 1 3rd down so far. It resulted in a touchdown. Conroe going to see if they can stop them on this drive. The pass is a swing pass. It's incomplete. It was a forward pass. Deep enough in their own territory that Oak Ridge will be forced to punt. 8:13 left in the quarter. 14-7. War Eagles lead. Conroe's punt return man set up at about the 38-yard line. Cheating over towards the right hash mark. This one will go deep and land at the 30. He's going to let it bounce. It takes an Oak Ridge bounce down to the 20. That's where Conroe will start their 2nd offensive series of the night. They were able to score rather quickly on their first drive. I believe it took 3 plays on a 3rd down play. They rushed it in. Now that the sun has set, folks, we are 75 degrees here at Morehead Stadium. It's absolutely gorgeous tonight. 4 wide receivers set for Conroe. They have stacked wide receivers on the left. Quarterback short, quick drop over the middle, wide open man, and this might go for 6 as well if he's got the wheels to pull it off. This is also Dramico, and he falls his way into the end zone for his 2nd score of the night. And I have to say, my colleague, Ms. Humphreys, she asked for 2 touchdowns from Dramico because we were having a conversation with his brother this week, and he has already delivered. And we are about 4.5 minutes into this game. 7:49 left. Conroe looking to tie the score at 14 with this extra point. And that kick is good. So we are tied, folks, after a very quick 14-0 lead by the War Eagles. Tigers come back and tie this score after their first 2 offensive series. Coming out of the backfield there, Dramico with the catch and run. Caught up to him about the 2-yard line, pushed him forward for the score. So Green has 2 scores, 1 rushing and 1 through the air. So what I would like to see before the end of the night is a pitch to D'Amico, who then squares his body and throws for a touchdown. Let's get a trifecta or a hat trick here. We've got a lot of visiting cheerleaders on the Conroe side. Right now, the Stockton Junior High cheerleaders are doing 14 push-ups for the 14 points that Conroe has put up. We've also got the Pete Junior High cheerleaders joining us this evening, and all the future Golden Girls are here as well. So it's a big night here at Moorhead Stadium for all the Conroe family and feeder schools. So Oak Ridge has had 3 possessions. They've scored on 2 of those. Their last possession did result in a punt, so they will try to get back on the board on this series. Fielding the kickoff at the 2 a little awkwardly, makes a move and gets past the 15 before being brought down right around the 20-yard line. War Eagles come out with a 3 wide receiver set, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Quarterback in shotgun with a running back and an H-back in the backfield. It is a handoff up the middle, has some running room, brought down from behind by a linebacker at around the 30, very close to a first down. I think they'll mark him short by a yard, and it'll bring up 2nd and 1. Second and 1, in my opinion, is always a great opportunity for a play-action pass. Try to get some big yards here. If you don't get it, then you just rush on 3rd down to pick up that first down. Let's see what the War Eagles will do with this 2nd and 1. They will hand it off and try to pick up the first down. The easy way has to cut it to the outside. He makes it past the 35-yard line, out of bounds at the 37. Plenty for the first down. They'll move the chains. The War Eagles will get a fresh set of downs. Clock is ticking, just under 7 minutes here in the first quarter at Moorhead Stadium. District play between Oak Ridge and Conroe well underway. We are tied at 14. Same formation. Snap is good, handoff up the middle. Runs into a lot of linemen, looking for any room to run, not anything going. They will blow this play dead at the 41-yard line. Gain of about 4 will bring up 2nd and 6. Oak Ridge with 2 wide right, 1 wide receiver to the left on this formation. They've got the running back in the backfield. They've mixed up a fair amount of run and play, or pass plays. That is another one on the ground, a very short gain, at most a yard. And that will bring up a 3rd down. So on their first possession, Oak Ridge had a 3rd and long, and they were able to connect on a long touchdown pass. That was their first score of the game. And on their last drive, Conroe was able to hold them on 3rd down to force a punt. It is 3rd and 4. The snap is good. It's a play-action pass. Quarterback rolls. He has to throw it away. And good coverage by the Tigers. Going to force another Oak Ridge punt. First punt was a good one, unable to be fielded by the return man. This time set up at about the 28-yard line for the return, and now he's moving a little bit back. From the left hash mark, punter gets a good boot on it. It's going to drop at the 25, take a bounce straight up. Oak Ridge does not want to see what it's going to do, and they'll down it at the 23-yard line. That's where Conroe will get started here. They have scored on their first 2 possessions. They'll try to make it 3, and if they do, they will take their first lead of the night. We are tied at 14. Oak Ridge got on the board quickly with a touchdown pass, and then their ensuing kickoff wasn't necessarily a traditional onside kick, but it looked like it might have been by design. It was high, and it was about a 30-yard kick, unable to be fielded by Conroe. It was recovered by Oak Ridge. They scored on the very next play to go up 14-0. And Conroe has scored twice unanswered. Quarterback scrambles out of the pocket, gains a couple of yards, but there's flags in the backfield. This will come back for holding, and we'll lose 10 yards and get another first down. So they are offsetting penalties because there was an offside on the defense, which offsets the offensive penalty, and they'll just put this one back on the original line of scrimmage, and they will redo first down. So we're 1st and 10, again from the 23-yard line. 2 men in the backfield for Conroe, 3 wide receiver set. And it is a handoff, fumbled in the backfield, jumped on by number 13, and recovered by the Tigers. Nigel Leday with the fumble recovery. Conroe with the 4 wide receiver set, 1 man in the backfield. And they're going to blow this play dead. There's a flag on the far sideline. We're waiting for the official call here. They are stepping it back, so it's a false start on the Tigers. They'll lose 5 yards, and we will have a second, and now it's 17. So I said it was an offsetting penalty. It was not, as they clearly lost yardage on that first down play. Or I suppose they lost it on the fumble. They're going to take their running backs and split them wide. It's an empty backfield. Number 13 in motion. The snap is low. Quarterback recovers it. It is a pass complete to Lewis Williams. Number 3 across the middle brings it up to the 20-yard line, so they get some positive yards. But they'll still have a 3rd and long to try to pick up a first down. They're going to need about 13 yards. This is a huge gain. Up to the 40. Quarterback keeper for the first down. Huge chunk of yardage. On a 3rd and long. Conroe needed that one to keep this drive going with just about 3 minutes left in the first quarter. And the clock is ticking. We're under 3 minutes in the first quarter, tied at 14. Conroe with a huge first down gain on that 3rd and long. New set of downs here, and we have a quarterback keeper. Off the left side, makes about a 3-yard gain up to the 44-yard line. Conroe lining up with 3 wide receivers. This is a handoff. And hit immediately at the line is number 1, Nick Medina, second leading rusher for the Tigers. And another important third down for the Tigers. 3rd and 7. They'll have to get to the Oak Ridge 49 if they want this first down. They're going with an empty backfield. They put a man in motion from left to right. He'll line up wide right. Quarterback with no drop, but a quick throw at the first down marker, and then a few more than that, so enough for the first down. We are in Oak Ridge territory. The Tigers will get a new first down at the 46-yard line. And there is a minute and a half left in this first quarter. Conroe quick to the line of scrimmage. Running back to the right of the quarterback. He'll take a 3-step drop. He's looking downfield. He's got time to throw. He's got his man, and he hits him in stride on the right sideline down to the 10. He may have stepped out of bounds prior to that, and they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 15. A huge pickup for the Tigers. And a fresh set of downs as they are continuing this drive deep in Oak Ridge territory. After going down quickly 14-0, Conroe has responded with 14 unanswered points of their own. They're going to try to make it more than 14 on this drive as they are 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Quarterback with a pump fake finds his man, slant across the middle, inside the 5-yard line, brought down about the 4. Plenty for a first down, and they'll have 1st and goal. They'll say it's from the 5. From here, it looks like they're closer to the 4, so they'll have a couple of opportunities from there to get it into the end zone. 2 running backs in the backfield. And it is a carry into the end zone off the right side of the line. My eyes are not failing me, and don't trust me that they're not. Nigel Leday was the ball carrier on that score. That puts up Conroe 20-14. They'll look to make it 21 on this kick. A little bit of a high snap, a good hold. The kick is through the uprights, and Conroe with 21 unanswered points. They have responded to an early deficit, and they lead 21-14. This first quarter is almost over. We have 18 seconds left as Oak Ridge looks to turn things around. They had a lot of success early. Conroe defense has sort of turned the page on this first quarter and have gone up 21-14. There you saw our junior high cheerleaders. They're the ones doing the push-ups. I'm not sure that they've been practicing all week. We won't criticize technique tonight. Although I do know some of those cheerleaders as former students of my own that came through Crier Intermediate. All right, War Eagles. They will try to respond. They've got to get some points of their own to get back into this game. They only trail by 1 score, 21-14. However, those 21 points came after an early 14-0 lead from Oak Ridge. And here's the kickoff. It is deep, and they wait for the fair catch. This will be spotted then at the 25-yard line. That's where the War Eagles will take over and try to turn things around and get themselves back on the board. On this beautiful fall evening in Moorhead Stadium, we have a very large crowd here. And you can't blame folks for wanting to come out, enjoy this beautiful weather, a great football game, district action. So conversation on the Oak Ridge sideline with the officials. As they spot the ball at the 25. Not sure why everybody was back there at the 4, but we are set up and ready to go here. Just about through with the first quarter. Depending on what play they run here on first down, this may be it for the first quarter. They've got a 4 wide receiver set, 3 to the left. Running back in the backfield with the quarterback out of shotgun. Makes a big cut over the right side of the line and dragged out of bounds just short of midfield. A huge pickup. Depending on the spot, it looks like they are moving it back to about the 41-yard line. So I suppose he either stepped out of bounds back there, pushed out of bounds back there. But a big first down for Oak Ridge. We have 4 seconds left in this quarter. This will be the final play of the first quarter. Out of shotgun, man in motion. Quarterback takes a low snap, takes a drop, being chased out of the pocket. Finds some room on the right side, finds his receiver open around the 50, pushed out of bounds. Just short of midfield and just short of the first down, I believe. But that is the end of the first quarter here at Moorhead Stadium. After trailing 14-0, Conroe responded with 3 scores of their own, 21 unanswered points to take a 21-14 lead over Oak Ridge. Both teams get a little bit of breather as we switch sides, and Oak Ridge will now be defending the east end zone. And with the ball, they'll be moving left to right on your screen. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on the Conroe ISD Athletics YouTube channel. I want to thank all the technology folks behind the scenes getting us on the air. Andrew Stewart, Ryan Dickey, Robert Davidson, Benji Clay, Garrett Rickwalt, Eliana Del Aguila, Abby Johnson. They all make it possible for me, Nick Crawl, to get here on the air and bring this great game to y'all. We've got a fresh 12 minutes on the clock to start this second quarter. Oak Ridge has a 2nd and short from the 50. Quarterback takes a snap, handoff to number 5, tries to make it up the middle, makes a cut across the right-hand side, finds some running room, runs out of bounds just short of the 40. They'll mark him at the 41. Plenty for the first down. Into Conroe territory, 1st and 10 from the Tigers' 41-yard line. War Eagles go without the huddle. 4 wide receiver set, 2 on either side, running back to the left of the quarterback. Takes a snap, looks to his left, has a man on a swing pattern. Number 5 with the reception, complete across the first down marker, down around the 30, 29-yard line. They'll mark him at the 30. I do believe that's enough for a fresh set of downs, and they will move the chains. First and 10 from the Conroe 30, and this is Oak Ridge's best drive since their first 2 scores, as they look to respond to a 21-point streak from Conroe. This one a deep pass to the right, has his man open in the end zone, but throws it about a yard or 2 past his fingertips, incomplete. He had a step on the defender, and very nearly a touchdown for the War Eagles. Nice effort to get into the end zone, but incomplete. Will bring up a 2nd and 10. Trying to draw Conroe off sides with a hard count. Handoff up the middle. There is a flag thrown in the backfield. It will probably be for a hold against Oak Ridge. There's a late flag thrown, and it looks like something was happening sort of extracurricularly between a couple of players. That one might go against Oak Ridge as well. We'll have to see what the call is. Officials are trying to work this out. Multiple flags. I think it was a couple of penalties. And here we get the call. Holding on the offense is the first. Unsportsmanlike on Conroe. So it looks like a hold on Oak Ridge. They called an unsportsmanlike call on Conroe. I do not have the best hearing, although I could have sworn he said 3 fouls, so I figured there was going to be an unsportsmanlike on Oak Ridge that was sort of offset. Those 2 penalties, the holding call would stand. They have taken the spot of the ball back 10 yards, which would indicate that holding call is the enforceable penalty. And it looks like Conroe's head coach getting a bit of an explanation from the officials there. This would be a great time to recognize the head coaches of both teams. Conroe, of course, led by head coach and AD Cedric Hardiman. And athletic coordinator, head coach of Oak Ridge War Eagles is Mark Schmid. Officials still trying to work out this penalty. Several flags still on the field. They're picking it up right now and getting everything figured out. When we come out of this officials conference, it looks like Oak Ridge will have a 2nd and 20 from the 40-yard line, the Conroe 40-yard line. Trying to get everything figured out. There's 11 minutes and 28 seconds left in the first half. So we are just getting into the second quarter here. And those multiple penalties slowing everything down. But it looks like we're about ready to get back into the action here. Oak Ridge will come out of this and have 4 wide receivers set, 2 on either side. Running back in the backfield to the right of the quarterback, who's operating out of shotgun. A quick drop, looks to his right and rolls to his right. Looks like he might take off with this. He passes late into the sideline, and he was still well short of the line of scrimmage. So that'll be an incomplete pass and bring up a 3rd and long, a 3rd and 20 actually, from the Conroe 40. So a very difficult holding penalty to try to recover from. War Eagles quick to the line. They've had success through the air. That both scores came off of passes. We'll see what they do here on 3rd and 20. Quarterback looks to throw. Now he's going to be quarterback keeper by design, looking to run it to the right side, past the 30, down to the 25-yard line, well short of the first down, but makes a 4th down much more manageable if that spot will stand, and it looks like it will. It'll be a 4th and 5, maybe a long 5. 11:03 deep in Conroe territory, and it does look like Oak Ridge is going to go for it on 4th down. It's quite a bit more than it looked like at first. It's actually a 4th and 6, so they'll have to get it very close to the 20-yard line to pick up this 1st down. Quarterback drop, looks for his man in the end zone. It's a jump ball, and did he come down with it? He did not. Incomplete pass. That was a very close jump ball. Very well defended, and number 3 wide receiver for Oak Ridge with a valiant effort to try to come down with that. That's Tavion Jefferson, junior wide receiver, and here it is on replay. Timed his jump pretty good to go over the back of the defender, and from that view you can't tell whether or not it hit the ground, but the official right there to make the call, and it'll be a turnover on downs as Conroe takes over from their own 25-yard line. I like the play call. It was very nearly successful, and you're not giving up terrible field position to Conroe with that turnover. 21-14 is where we still stand, 10:36 left in this half. Pass complete to Lewis Williams on the right-hand side, gets about 1, maybe 2 yards, quickly tackled and brought down for a short gain. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Tigers. Three wide receiver set, but they put a man in motion. This is a false start on Conroe. Miscommunication as a couple of wide receivers took off before the ball was snapped. That's a penalty you don't want to have when you are 2nd and 8, because now they're faced with about a 2nd and 13. Penalties will very often tell a story of a game, and both teams have had some costly penalties that have stalled out some drives. Conroe going to look to recover from that false start penalty on 2nd down here. Looking to throw, finds his man wide open. One missed tackle, gets by another tackler up to the 35-yard line before being brought down. They'll mark him short of the 1st down by about 3 yards, and they'll mark him at about the 33-yard line. Big gain for Conroe. Number 7 with the reception. And that's Dramico Green, who already has 2 scores on the night. Three yards for the 1st down. They'll have to get it up to the 36-yard line. Dramico Green in the backfield to the right of the quarterback. 4 wide receiver set. Number 13 in motion. Number 13 with the fake handoff. It's quarterback keeper up the middle. He is stopped immediately, and they might give him a yard on the carry, but well short of the 1st down. That'll force Conroe to punt. Oak Ridge defense showing up after giving up 21 quick points to the Tigers. There's just a little bit over 8.5 minutes left in this 2nd quarter. War Eagles return man set up at the 35-yard line. It's a good snap. The punt is off. It's a high punt. Fair catch called for. Nearly bobbled but recovered and caught at the 37-yard line. That's where the War Eagles will start this drive. Pretty good field position here in the 2nd quarter. Oak Ridge will start this drive with 3 wide receivers and 2 running backs, sharing the backfield with the quarterback who operates out of shotgun. Takes a clean snap, number 5 with the fake handoff. Quarterback keeper tries to get some running room on the right-hand side, throws a stiff arm before being shoved out of bounds at the 43-yard line. 6-yard gain will bring up 2nd and 4. Oak Ridge quickly to the line for wide receiver set on this play. Quarterback looks to his left, running back out of the backfield. Short pass, gets past one would-be tackler before getting past the first down marker. Brought down short of the 50, but enough for the first down. We'll move the chains for Oak Ridge, as they will have a 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line. 8 minutes left in the first half here at Moorhead Stadium. I cannot think of a better night for football than tonight. Perfect weather, 72 degrees and clear skies. More of a stacked formation, pistol formation. Running back gets the handoff, tries to take it right up the middle. Met by several Tigers, brought down after a 2-yard gain. 7.5 minutes left, 2nd and 8. Oak Ridge looking to put some points on the board here in the second quarter after getting off to a very, very quick 14-0 lead. And by very quick, I mean we were barely 2 minutes into this game before the 14-0 lead. Conroe with 21 unanswered points brings us to the score we're at now, 21-14. Quarterback scrambles out of the pocket, still looking downfield, chased, finds a man in the middle. Number 1 loses the ball. I believe he was down before that fumble came out. Brought down at about the Conroe 44-yard line. That will be short of the first down as they need to get it to the 42. So they'll be faced with a 3rd down and 2 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in this first half. Oak Ridge trying the hard count, and several times Conroe's not biting. This handoff is a big gain as he makes the cut around the right side and inside the, I was going to say the 15-yard line, but it looks like he stepped out back at the 20, and that's where they'll mark him. That was plenty of yards for the first down. As Oak Ridge gets up to the Conroe 20-yard line for a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. And we're now at about 6 minutes left in this first half. So far, this drive has been successful. Conroe defense having trouble to contain this offense. It's a quarterback keeper. He makes a move to get away from a tackler, and he's going to walk this one into the end zone for a score. War Eagles score their first touchdown of this quarter to bring them within a point of the Tigers pending this extra point attempt. And we have a left-footed kicker for the War Eagles. He sets up. It's a bit of a shaky snap, but a good hold by the holder, and the kick is up and good. So we're tied at 21, and a really exciting first half here at Moorhead Stadium. Oak Ridge tying the game up with 5 minutes and 44 seconds left in this first half. Oak Ridge looking for their first district win. They come in with a district record of 0-2, and overall they are 1-3 on the season. Conroe 2-1 in district play, and overall 3-2 on the season. This will prove to be an important game for either team. Both teams coming off of losses last week. Likes to put 3 players deep for the kickoff return. Close to the left sideline, around the 15-yard line. Close to the right hash marks on the 10, and the middleman lined up on the goal line. This kickoff goes out of bounds, so the penalty flags are thrown, and I believe it'll be spotted at the 35-yard line. So if you were not following us in the first quarter, following a quick score from Oak Ridge, they had a similar kickoff to that. It was high and it was short, but that one stayed inbounds, unable to be caught by Conroe, and it was recovered for an onside kick by Oak Ridge. They then scored a quick score off of that onside kick and went up 14-0. Conroe responded with 21 unanswered points of their own before Oak Ridge finally got back on the board with that last score, and that's where we stand now at 21-21. So it'll actually be spotted at the 30-yard line. And that's where Conroe will start this drive with 5 minutes and 44 seconds left in the half. Man in motion. Quarterback drops, looking for a throw. He's got a man across the middle, and he misses him by a yard. It is just past the outreached hands of his intended receiver. A nice pattern. He had step on the defender. Braylon Reese, the junior wide receiver, was the intended target. Unable to bring that in as the throw was just out of reach. A nice first down play call for Conroe as they were trying to get a lot on that first play of this series. 2nd and 10. Number 13 in motion. He will take the handoff. He's got some room to run. He's up to the 35, brought down at about the 37-yard line, and that's about 3 yards short of the first down. And depending on the spot, it does look like they put it at the 38-yard line, so we're looking at a 3rd and 2. Conroe has 4 wide receivers. Running back in the backfield, quarterback looking to throw, finds his man. Number 13 comes down with it. He has the first down before being brought down at about the 46-yard line. And we're just inside of 5 minutes left in this first half here at Moorhead Stadium. Tigers looking at the sideline. The play comes in, quarterback getting into the shotgun. He's got a running back there with him. They put 13 in motion. He's going to go wide right. It's a play action pass. Quarterback has some time, scrambles out of the pocket, decides to keep it, makes some moves up to the 45 on the Oak Ridge side of the field before being forced out of bounds at the 44-yard line. That'll be right at the first down marker, and the officials are saying he has enough for the first down. They'll move the chains. 4:25 left now in this first half. Conroe driving, trying to respond to the touchdown Oak Ridge just scored to even the score at 21. It's a handoff to number 1, finds some running room up the middle, dips a shoulder, gets past the 40. Brought down just inside the 40-yard line there on the Oak Ridge side of the field. They'll mark it right at the 40, in fact. Was Nick Medina with the carry. It's a clean snap. Quarterback with a quick drop. He gets flushed out of the pocket, still looks to throw, keeps his eyes downfield. It's through the hands of his intended receiver. There was a little bit of gas on that throw. Kind of hard to come down with, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. They've got 6 yards to go to pick up this first down. They'll have to get it to the 34-yard line if they want to get a new set of downs, and there's 3:36 left in this half. We have a tie score at 21. It has been a very entertaining first half. As always, we'll bring you the band performances at halftime, and then we'll come back with the second half action. Conroe wants to make this a Conroe lead going into the half, as they will get the ball in the second half. Quarterback hit in the backfield. He somehow gets past the tacklers and will gain some positive yards. Being helped out. They're not going to blow this dead, and they will finally blow it dead at the 37-yard line. That is short of the first down. There is very little activity on the sideline, so it looks like the Tigers will go for it. We are late in the half. There's 3 minutes left, just over 3 minutes left in this half, and the offense stays on the field. It's 4th down. They'll need 3 yards for the first down. Again, they've got to get it up to the 34-yard line. The ball right now on the 37-yard line. It's an empty backfield. They've got all 3 of their timeouts left. There's 5 seconds left on the play clock. They get the snap off. It's a low snap. Quarterback recovers, has a man wide open, and he gets past one tackler, brought down inside the 20-yard line. Clock will still roll. He is at the 18-yard line. 2.5 minutes left in this half. And Conroe picks up a first down on that 4th down play. Big first down for the Tigers, as they're using a lot of this clock here in the second quarter, keeping the ball out of the War Eagles' hands and trying to respond with a score before we go into half here. 4 wide receivers, 13 in motion. It looks like Conroe's asking for a timeout, and that is what's going to happen with 2:11 left in the half. Conroe taking their first time out of the game. We are tied at 21. Both teams now have 2 timeouts left in this first half. Next week, Oak Ridge will be back home at Wood Forest Bank Stadium playing host to Grand Oaks. And Conroe will be on the road to take on an undefeated New Caney team. And they will be undefeated next week, as New Caney has a bye this week. Conroe would like nothing more than to get this victory here tonight to go 3-1 in district play, which then puts them neck and neck with New Caney, who's 3-0 and will be 3-0 next week. Tigers come out of their timeout with a 4 wide receiver set. Running back in the backfield with the quarterback. They like to put number 13 in motion. He's going to go to the right side wide. He gets set. The snap is good. Number 11 quarterback looking to throw. On the move, had a man making a crossing pattern through the end zone. That was Lewis Williams III. And just a little bit too much mustard on that throw and out of reach of that wide receiver, bringing up a second down with just over 2 minutes left in this half. It'll be a 2nd and 10. They're on the Oak Ridge 18-yard line. They'll start with 2 men in the backfield with the quarterback. They usually like to put one of these men in motion. They look to the sideline. They'll stay in this formation. And it is a handoff to number 13, who likes to take this sweeping run to the right. He has some room just short of the first down, knocked out of bounds close to the 10-yard line. And the clock stops with 1:58 left. There's a flag on the far sideline, and it's a very costly holding penalty against Conroe. And from the spot of the foul, they'll march off 10 yards, and they will repeat that second down. So penalties have been costly for both teams, as they have stalled out some drives and taken them out of good field position. Conroe will try to recover from that holding penalty, as this has been a pretty successful drive so far, deep in Oak Ridge territory with under 2 minutes left in this half, as the clock ticks with under 1:45 left. Play action pass, quarterback keeping his eyes downfield. Looks like his intended target was number 5. And that's Cameron Thomas as the intended target for the Tigers. Incomplete pass will stop the clock with 1:34 to go here in the second quarter. Still tied at 21. It hasn't been an entertaining first half. A couple of big plays, a couple of long drives. Conroe trying to get something on the board before we go to the half. A pump fake to his right, has a man across the middle, finds him complete down to the 5-yard line. That is enough for a new set of downs. They'll actually mark him down at the 4. So it will be a 1st and goal for the Tigers. 4 opportunities to get it into the end zone with 1:20 left to play in this half. And with that time left, Conroe is not in a hurry to get this snap off. Oak Ridge not using one of their 2 timeouts to stop the clock, so we're very close to a minute left. Takes the snap, hand off to number 7, who has a couple scores already today. This one is going to be some hard-fought yardage, maybe 2 yards on the carry down to the 2-yard line. 51, 48 seconds left. The clock is ticking. Both teams with 2 timeouts. Neither team looking to stop the clock. Conroe would like to use as much of this clock as possible while still getting some points on the board before halftime. Just about 30 seconds left. There's the snap. It's a handoff to number 7. He plows his way into the end zone, short of the end zone. So my eyes betrayed me as I thought I saw the pile cross that goal line. He's down at the half-yard line. There's 18 seconds left. Not sure why they don't want to use a timeout. Quarterback under center. Gets a snap. Quarterback sneak. Pushes his way in. That, my friends, is a touchdown. We get the official call from the sideline. Conroe with the score. There are 10 seconds left in this half. Quick snap under center, pushed his way forward. I think he might have gotten a little help from his running back, pushing him in and over that goal line. Gives Conroe a 27-21 lead over the War Eagles. Looking to extend this lead to 7 with this extra point. It's a good snap, good hold. Kick is a little low, however, it splits the uprights, and it is good. Conroe goes up 28-21 in a great use of the clock on that drive as they give Oak Ridge very little opportunity to do much with 10 seconds left as they take a 7-point lead, and they'll try to take this into half as the Tigers will get the second half kickoff. And both bands are lining up in the west end zone as it looks like they are preparing for the halftime performances. And I will remind you that the Conroe ISD Athletics YouTube channel does in fact carry these halftime performances. I promise you I will not talk over them, so you can enjoy these band performances and everything that they have to offer for you all. And we will come back and give you a very exciting second half. Both teams playing hard, both teams trying to will their way to a victory tonight in this district game. Probably the first beautiful night for football, as it is fall weather. Jackets, sweatshirts, all making their appearance in the stands. If you're Conroe, you want to make sure you don't give Oak Ridge anything on this kickoff. And if you're the War Eagles, you're looking to make something happen here with 10 seconds left in the half, so you have a little momentum going into halftime. We'll see what they do. A squib kick, not out of the question. Two men back for Oak Ridge. And this will be a high, deep kick. Fair catch called for, so they won't even try to advance it. They'll get the ball at the 25-yard line. With 10 seconds left to play, we will see if they even attempt a play or if they'll just take a knee and be content with the 7-point deficit going into the half. Left hash mark on the 25-yard line. Oak Ridge not coming out in a kneel down formation, but rather a 4 wide receiver set. They've got 3 wide receivers set up on the right, 1 wide to the left, running back in the backfield with the quarterback who'll get the handoff, has a little bit of running room, hit at the line of scrimmage, shakes a tackler. Number 12 chasing him in the backfield. He comes back around to the other sideline and out of bounds with time expiring. A admirable run on the final play of the first half, but that will do it. We have a great first half, 28-21, Conroe lead. Please don't go anywhere as we will bring you the band performances at the half and come back with a very exciting second half here at Moorhead Stadium. Conroe gets the kickoff in the second half, and we'll be right here to bring it to you. Some of the other district games happening tonight. Well, last night, Caney Creek took on College Park. Tonight, Willis is at Cleveland, and the Woodlands taking on Grand Oaks down at Wood Forest Bank Stadium. New Caney with the bye. All right, folks, I promised you I would not talk over these performances. I'll mute myself as the bands get ready to perform. Enjoy these performances, and please stick around for the second half. All right, once again, we get to enjoy some very good marching band performances from both high schools, Oak Ridge being the first performers at half, and followed up just now by the Conroe High School Marching Band, and the Golden Girls and all the future Golden Girls that got to join them this evening from the feeder schools, and there are quite a few of them, as well as, at least in the first half, we had the cheerleaders from Stockton Junior High and Peak Junior High to join us on this really great Friday night at Moorhead Stadium. District game between the Conroe Tigers and the Oak Ridge War Eagles. We've had a great first half. Oak Ridge came out of the gate swinging and got up 14-0 early before Conroe responded with 21 unanswered points of their own. And 21-14 Conroe lead at 1 point before Oak Ridge tied it at 21. And then right before we went into the half, Conroe with the final score of the first half gave them the 28-21 lead, which is where we're at right now in about 3.5 minutes to the second half kickoff. Conroe will get the ball to start the second half. Both teams have made it out of the locker room, and they're raring to go here. Conroe comes in at 3-2, and they are 2-1 on district play, so they'll look to extend that to a 4-2 and 3-1 record. Oak Ridge, on the other hand, came in at 1-3 overall and 0-2 in district play. So the War Eagles looking to get their first district win of the season. Next week, Conroe going to be on the road against New Caney, and New Caney has yet to lose a game on the season. They have a bye this week, so Conroe will look to go there and do some damage against New Caney, while Oak Ridge will be back home against Grand Oaks next week. It is perfect fall weather here in Conroe. Friday night lights happening with this fall weather. We are in the upper 60s, and by the time this game is over, folks, it will be in the lower 60s. Glad I brought my sweatshirt. It's cold up here in the press box, but I bet it's even cooler out there with this fresh fall air. It takes a little couple days, couple weeks to get used to it. But I think most of us can say we are ready for that weather. I want to take a quick moment to recognize the people who get this broadcast on the Conroe ISD Athletics YouTube channel. They are the people who are making sure the technology is working, and they get all the great camera shots of the game, and they make sure that you can hear all the action as well. It starts with our site supervisor, Andrew Stewart, and everybody else behind the scenes, including Ryan Dickey, Robert Davidson, Benji Clay, Garrett Rickwalt, Eliana Del Aguila, and Abby Johnson. I want to thank them all for all their hard work behind the scenes. I get the easy job up here in the press box. I get to watch a football game and tell you about it. My name's Nick Krall. I teach at Crier Intermediate, and I always like to take a moment to recognize all the great Crier cats who are either in the stands enjoying this game. I know a lot of the boys at Crier look forward to playing football here at Conroe in the near future. A lot of our Crier cats look forward to being Golden Girls and cheerleaders, and in the marching band. We have two great band directors at Crier who are getting our kids prepared to one day enjoy their high school experience like all these great kids out here tonight. We have less than a minute to go till we are into the second half. I hope you stick around. It was a great first half. We had back and forth scoring, 49 points combined on the board. It's just a one-score game right now, and I'm looking forward to a great second half. Oak Ridge started the season with the 23-13 win against Brenham before dropping their next three, and they're looking to turn that around here in the second half at Moorhead Stadium. Conroe, on the other hand, lost a tough one to open the season, 14-3 to Katy Paetow, before recovering with a three-game winning streak, culminating in a 28-24 victory over Willis on homecoming, before losing a tough one to the Woodlands last week, 63-7. All right, both teams out on the field. Conroe defending the west end zone. They'll be going right to left on the screen. They are set up to return this kickoff. They're putting one man deep at the goal line. That's a little bit different than they have done. A couple of these Oak Ridge kicks have been high and short, and one of them was actually a successful kind of onside kick. This one was touched by a Conroe Tiger. They're going to have to get this ball as it bounces around. They do recover it. It's advanced onto the sideline to midfield. It's fumbled out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. So what could have been a disaster for Conroe and a fortunate turn of events for Oak Ridge actually turns into a significant gain for the Tigers and great field position to start the second half. Their first offensive drive will start on the Oak Ridge side of the field at about the 45-yard line, and that is in fact where they'll spot this ball. No, I take that back. They'll put it at the 46-yard line on the War Eagles side. So a huge return for the Tigers. That gives them great field position to start the second half as they come into the half with a 7-point lead, 28-21 over Oak Ridge. 4 wide receiver set. It's a handoff. D'Amico Green up the middle and brought down at about the 42-yard line. D'Amico Green with 2 touchdowns in the first half, 1 through the air, 1 on the ground. His brother D goes to Crier. We're all friends with D, and I told him that I'd be on this broadcast and I'd mention him. And another teacher who is familiar with the family said, I'd like your brother to score 2 touchdowns for me, and he has delivered. He's the man in motion. It is a fake handoff, quarterback keeper. Not quite enough for the first down, brought down at the 37-yard line. He'll have to get another yard for the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1. Quarterback communicating with his offensive line. He'll go back into shotgun with the running back to his left. Slot receiver in motion. It's a handoff to Green, who has no room to run, actually brought down for a loss on the play. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a loss of 2, and it'll bring up a 4th down. It looks like they're bringing on the special teams punt unit. So a good defensive stand from Oak Ridge on Conroe's first attempt here in the second half. And they'll force a punt from the Tigers. Tigers will try to pin Oak Ridge deep in their own territory. This is a good punt. It's a fair catch called for inside the 10, so I believe it'll be marked around the 7. That'll give them a long field to work with. And the Conroe defense will come out for the first time in the second half. War Eagles going to try to put something together here to get right back into it. It is a close game. They trail by 7 with 9:55 left in the third quarter. We are just getting underway in the second half here. Both teams operate without a huddle. They're quick to the line, but they take their time getting the play in from the sideline. Pistol formation with the running back deep in the end zone. It will be a handoff. He cuts to the right of the line towards the sideline, makes the cut to the 20, out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It is a big gain. They'll mark him back at the 24. Plenty for the first down and some breathing room for the War Eagles. As they were pinned back inside the 10-yard line, they'll start this first down series from the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Two men back in the backfield with the quarterback, number 5, with the handoff, looking for room to run. Not a lot of room, forced to the sideline before being forced out of bounds after a gain of maybe 2 yards. It looks like they'll give him the spot at the 26-yard line, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 8. And the clock is ticking with 9.5 left in the third quarter. Going back to the 4 wide receiver set, 2 on either side. Running back lining up a yard behind the quarterback. Now he goes even with him to his left. Runs a route to the right, a swing pattern, and he could have been hit behind the line of scrimmage. However, he makes it past midfield before being forced out of bounds at around the 46-yard line. A big carry for the War Eagles puts them on the Conroe side of the field. They'll give them a spot at the 45 and a fresh set of downs. So this drive looking promising for Oak Ridge. It's their first series of the second half. And just under 9 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Pistol formation puts the running back behind the quarterback in shotgun. H-back between the quarterback and the line. Two wide receivers. It's a play action pass. Quarterback rolls to his right, looks to his left, has a man wide open along the sidelines, goes to the 30, cuts it inside to the 20, 15, 10. He will make it into the end zone for a score. Oak Ridge on the board in the second half. And they are now within one extra point from tying this game at 28. 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Quick score from the Oak Ridge offense, couple big plays. And they find the end zone on their first offensive series in the second half. Left-footed kicker. It always just looks a little odd to me. It's like a left-handed golfer. You're not used to seeing it. Although his kicks have been on point tonight. And this one is no different, right through the middle of the uprights. Ties the game at 28. And it has been back and forth all night. As I said, coming out of the break, Oak Ridge got out to a 14-0 lead before letting Conroe score 21 unanswered. War Eagles tied it at 21 before Conroe took the lead right before the half. And came into this half 28-21. However, Oak Ridge has just tied it at 28. We have 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in this third quarter. And Conroe will get their second chance with their second offensive series of the second half here. Other district games happening this evening. Willis at Cleveland and the Woodlands Grand Oaks game going on at Wood Forest Bank Stadium tonight. In other sports news, Astros were up 1 over the Rays when I checked over halftime. I don't have a current score for you, but of course, we don't want you to be too interested in that either. Stick around here with us. This is a great Friday night football game, tied at 28. We have just started the second half. And Conroe receiving another short kick. Fair catch called for and caught at the 23-yard line. I believe that advances it to 25, and that is where they will start this drive. So several of those high, short kicks from Oak Ridge, one or two of them ended up out of bounds, and one of them actually ended up as an onside kick, which resulted in a quick score for the War Eagles in the first quarter. So if by design or just necessity, those are the kicks that are happening from the Oak Ridge side. And Conroe has made some adjustments to make sure that they can recover those kicks and not give up an onside kick like they did back in the first quarter. They'll come out with 4 wide receivers, putting 3 on the left of the line, 1 man split wide right, running back in the backfield with the quarterback. And he'll take the handoff around the left side of the line. That's Dramico Green, brought down at the line of scrimmage. No gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. We have just about 8 minutes left here in the third quarter. Four wide receivers set. Takes a quick drop, looking to his right, finds his man wide open with plenty of room to run after the catch, bringing it close to midfield, brought down at the 44-yard line. Plenty of yardage for the first down. That's Lewis Williams III with the catch. Conroe moving the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. Significant yards after the catch on that play. Empty backfield, 5 wide receivers set. Quarterback with a quick drop. He's going to tuck it and run around the right side. Looking to throw. Throws deep. Has a man. Has to come back for it. That is going to be a flag for pass interference. They had no room to move towards that ball as he had 2 defenders blocking his path. They were not playing the ball. They were basically preventing him from making any play on the ball. An easy pass interference call. And this call here will make it official. So we get a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down, and that'll put them into Oak Ridge territory. They were trying to get a big gain on that pass. And they'll get 15 yards via penalty instead. 1st and 10. The ball is on the Oak Ridge 42-yard line. They put the slot man in motion. He'll take the handoff, taking around the left side. Has running room. Great blocks on the outside by his wide receivers. And he will cut it out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. And I'm not always sure the officials see it exactly how I do, because I saw him at the 19. They'll mark him at the 20. A significant gain nonetheless and a new set of downs. And that was Nigel Leday with the carry. He lines up on the left side. There are 4 wide. Dramico Green in the backfield with the quarterback, who drops looking downfield, finds his man on the right. That's Dramico Green at the 10, makes a spin move, makes it to the 5, makes the corner end zone, touchdown. That's his 3rd of the night. And Conroe retakes the lead, 34-28. Here comes the extra point that'll give them a 7-point lead. If good, it is up and right through the middle of the uprights. 35-28, Conroe retakes the lead. We have ourselves a great football game tonight here at Moorhead Stadium. After an Oak Ridge drive that tied the game at 28, Conroe returns the favor and marches down the field for 7 of their own. I know the crowd that is here could not be happier that they decided to take in this game in person. This is perfect Friday night football weather. 67 degrees here at Moorhead Stadium. And if it's cool weather that you've been hoping for, and I know a lot of you have, then this is the place to be this evening. We got ourselves a great football game. Those of you listening and watching us this evening, we appreciate you joining us. Not everybody can make it out here, and I know several people who have us turned on this evening. And you don't want to go anywhere either, as we have ourselves a football game. Conroe just retook the lead, 35-28. Oak Ridge will get the ball back with 6 minutes and 37 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. This is a high kick, and I think he waved his hand for a fair catch. They'll get this ball at the 25-yard line. 3 wide receiver set for the War Eagles. 2 running backs share the backfield with the quarterback out of shotgun. It'll be a handoff to number 3. Takes it around the left side for a gain of about 4 yards. And that's Tavion Jefferson Jr. wide receiver is what he's listed as. He lined up in the backfield there like a running back, but he gets the carry for about 4 yards, bring up a 2nd and 6. The clock is ticking here in the third quarter, very close to 6 minutes left in this quarter. Oak Ridge now in a 4 wide receiver set. Quarterback looks immediately to his right and has a man wide open across the middle. Number 21, unfortunately, through his hands. Not the easiest catch to come down with, but Camden Morgan would love to get that one back. The senior wide receiver was the intended target and just cannot come down with it. Had his defender beat by 4 or 5 yards, and if caught in stride, would have easily been 6 points for the War Eagles. As it stands, it'll be 3rd and 6. This is a big 3rd down for Oak Ridge, as they would love to respond to that score from Conroe and keep this game within a 1-score differential. They go back to 2 in the backfield with quarterback number 3 with the handoff, looking for some running room, makes a move at the 30, but nowhere to go. Down at the 30, will bring out special teams for Oak Ridge, as they will have to punt, faced with a 4th and 5 deep in their own territory. Conroe defense with a big stop on that series. And less than 5.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Punt return man is inside his own 40 at about the 38-yard line. Right in the middle of the field. The punt is up. This is a big, booming punt. Fielded at the 25. Going to return it to the 30. Makes a move at the 30 and spins away from some tacklers up to the 35. Gain tackled there. Decent field position for the Tigers as they start their 3rd offensive series of the second half. Just under 5 minutes left in the quarter. 4:50 left to play. We have a holding penalty against the return team. That would be against Conroe. Ten-yard penalty. I'm not sure if it's from the spot of the penalty or from the spot of the ball. The ball was at 35, and that looks like where they're stepping it off from. And it'll be from the left hash mark. They'll have their ball at the 25-yard line. Tigers looking to keep the momentum going as they are coming off of a score and a defensive stop. They'll try to add to their 7-point lead, 35-28 over the War Eagles. They'll hand it off, and the run up the middle will get them a couple of yards. And that's Trey Simmons, the senior running back, with the carry. Wearing my favorite number for a running back, 34, Walter Payton. Conroe going with 4 wide receivers, 2 on either side. They'll keep number 34 in the backfield. They put him in motion, and he'll be in the slot on the right, empty backfield. And it's a slant across the middle intended for Lou Williams. However, not really a catchable throw on that. Will bring up a 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and long. We'll call it 3rd and 9 with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Three wide receivers stacked to the right, 1 split to the left. Number 34 goes wide. There's a flag and a whistle to blow this play dead. This will go against Conroe most certainly, since they blew the play dead, and it is a false start penalty, which will put them back 5 more yards. And it'll make it a 3rd and 14. So a couple of penalties on this drive, starting with the punt return team, getting a 10-yard holding penalty, and now the false start penalty is pushing Conroe even deeper in their own territory. This is from the 20-yard line. They've got to get 14 yards for the first down. Quick pass to number 5 off his fingers. It's incomplete. Almost looked like he was forced to throw it a little early. Wide receiver not totally ready for that. And they'll be forced to punt. Cameron Thomas, the senior wide receiver, was the intended target. Good defensive stand from Oak Ridge will give them pretty good field position if this punt goes according to what they expect. They're setting up on the 40-yard line. Barely gets the punt off. This is taking a Conroe bounce. The return man has to get away from it. They're going to hope it rolls to the 40. It'll stop at the 41-yard line. Oak Ridge with good field position. 3:33 left in the 3rd quarter. It's a lot of threes. And it is 35-28. 1 score difference between these teams, and they have gone back and forth all night. Oak Ridge was off to a quick lead at 14-0. Conroe turned it around to take a 21-14 lead. It was tied at 21, tied again at 28, and now we stand at 35-28. Now we got the fan cam, and that young man was excited. The band is always excited here at Conroe. And we get some Oak Ridge fans on the fan cam this evening. 2 great Conroe ISD schools going at it on this district game. Beautiful Friday night from Moorhead Stadium. Oak Ridge waiting for the officials to let them know they can snap the ball. They are ready to go. From the Conroe 45-yard line. Looking to pass across the middle, finds his man. Down at 32, slides down. And that's a first down gain for the War Eagles. They're now on the Conroe 32-yard line with a fresh set of downs. And just over 3 minutes to play. They'll go with a 3 wide receiver set, 2 men in the backfield with the quarterback out of shotgun, gets the snap. It's a fake handoff, quarterback keeper on the left side. He's got plenty of room to run. He's inside the 10, 5, and makes the corner cut. They wave him out of bounds short of the end zone. It looks like they'll give him a spot at the 2-yard line. A huge gain for the quarterback, and had most of the Conroe defense fooled on that option play. Pulled the ball away from the running back, kept it himself, ran across the left side of the offensive line. Got the corner, took the sideline, made it to the 2. 1st and goal, that's where they're from. This one will be a handoff. Number 5 trying to find some room to run. I think he is dropped short of the goal line, and they'll mark him down at the 1-yard line. Oak Ridge with a couple more opportunities to punch this in and try to get this game back tied at 35. They trail by 7. 2.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. From a tight formation. This is a handoff, hit in the backfield. Nothing doing for Oak Ridge on that. That was a huge play by the Conroe defense. As number 90 makes it into the backfield immediately, Matthew Westmoreland Jr., a lineman for the Conroe Tigers, made the huge stop and pushed them back to the 3-yard line. Scoreboard says they're at the 2. Looks like they're at the 3 from up here. Regardless, it's 3rd and goal with a couple of yards to go to cross the end zone. Shotgun quarterback sweep to the left. Quarterback keeper by design. He is hit short of the goal line, so a huge 3rd down stop by the Tigers. And with no movement from the sideline, it looks like Oak Ridge is going to take advantage of this field position and go for it on 4th down. They need 2 yards to get into the end zone. And there is less than a minute and a half left in the 3rd quarter. This has been an exciting 3rd quarter. Couple of scores already with this drive being a potential game-tying drive from the War Eagles. On 4th down, looking to throw, has his man wide open, and it is complete in the end zone for a touchdown. And we are now a 1-point game pending this extra point. 55 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. And I'm not sure if everybody was fooled, but that man was wide open in the end zone. He had to give a little athletic effort to come down with it, which he did, and it is now 35-34 with an opportunity to tie it here with the extra point. It's a high snap, brings the hold down, and is through the uprights. That holder deserves some credit this evening as he has handled a couple of tricky snaps, and he's been able to get him down for his kicker in time to get those extra points. We are tied at 35 with 55 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. This is the Wacky Balloon Cam. I better see some good Wacky Balloon action. If they're not going to show me fans to do Wacky Balloon, I'm going to be a little disappointed. Here we go. I'm not so sure they know what they're supposed to be doing. There we go. Look at that little girl. She knows exactly what should be happening right now. Teenagers, not so much. Maybe not doing exactly what's needed, but they're practicing their cheers. Those are our future cheerleaders. And once again, the adults, kind of disappointing. That, or let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They're way into this game right now. It is a good game. We're tied at 35. We're almost into the 4th quarter. It's gone back and forth for most of the night. Both teams looking to come out of this district game with a win. After having lost last week, both teams coming off losses, trying to turn it around tonight. This one's going to be another short kick, has to be fielded. Fielded at 25, advanced to the 30. Looking for some room past the 35, down at the 36-yard line. That'll be good field position for Conroe. No flags on the field, so that should be where they start this drive. A couple of penalties on their last drive kind of put them back against the wall. Not able to recover from that. Punted away, gave Oak Ridge pretty good field position. Oak Ridge took advantage of it and scored on that drive. And that's where we stand now, tied at 35. There's 51 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Tigers looking to get their offense back on track. They'll start with a 4 wide receiver set. Quarterback getting his running back, Dramico Green, on his right side in the backfield. Puts his slot man in motion from right to left. In motion again, fake handoff, quarterback keeper right up the middle, nearly to the 45-yard line. I think they'll mark him short of that at about the 44, but a good gain of 7 yards. Will bring up 2nd and 3. Conroe quickly to the line. Play action pass has a man on the right, number 13 with the reception. He caught it very close to the 1st down marker before being brought down behind that, but forward progress should be close to that 1st down. The officials, not with a friendly spot, puts it at the 45-yard line. I thought he was closer to the 47, but it'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 yards. They'll have to get it to about the 47-yard line. And that does it with the 3rd quarter. Folks, that was so fast. Lots of action in the 3rd quarter. We stand tied at 35. We've got an excellent 4th quarter to look forward here. And this is about as perfect of a Friday night as you could get. Fall weather, a close game. Both teams playing very well. Lots of scoring. And that's where we are as we get ready for the 4th quarter. 67 degrees and clear outside here at Moorhead Stadium. Stands look just as full as they've been all night. Nobody would want to leave this game early. Conroe coming off a big 63-7 loss against the Woodlands last week. Nothing like a win this week to kind of get that bad taste out of your mouth. And Oak Ridge trying to come back from a 35-21 loss to New Caney last week. In fact, Oak Ridge has lost 3 in a row after opening the season with a win over Brenham. They would like nothing more than to come out of Moorhead tonight with a victory of their own. Both teams playing tough. We are tied at 35, just about ready to get this fourth quarter started. And Conroe will start with an empty backfield. It's 3rd and 2. Quarterback looking to throw, finds his man. Dramico Green with the reception at the 50, barrels his way past midfield, gets it into Oak Ridge territory. And they'll mark him down close to the 48-yard line. And that'll be a new set of downs for Conroe as the clock is now ticking here in the fourth quarter. 11 minutes, 45 seconds. One more quarter of football action here at Moorhead. And again, not many people leaving because we have a close battle going on. Empty backfield, 5 wide receiver set. They put the slot man in motion, number 13 with the option handoff. Quarterback decides to keep it, barrels his way forward, maybe 2 yards on the gain. Down at about the 46-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd down. They'll need 8 yards. Handoff goes up the middle. Can't quite make it to the 45. They'll mark him down at the 46-yard line. And it'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Tigers here in the fourth quarter. Second and 8, or excuse me, 3rd and 8. Big 3rd down for the Tigers here in the fourth quarter. It looks like a blitz. It's picked up. He cannot find his intended receiver across the middle. Cameron Thomas, I believe, the intended receiver. And that'll force Conroe to punt. A good defensive series from Oak Ridge coming off their drive that tied the game at 35, and they will try to make a swing in this game by forcing the punt and then putting up some points of their own to retake the lead that they have not had since they led 14-7. This punt will go out of bounds at the 20-yard line. They'll say the 22-yard line, in fact. And that's where the War Eagles will take over with 10 minutes and 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Both teams with all 3 timeouts left here in the fourth. 10:07 on the clock. Oak Ridge operating out of the pistol formation. Shotgun with the running back behind him, and whistle blows this play dead. A flag thrown, probably against the offense. It is a false start call, so they'll go 5 yards deeper in Oak Ridge territory, and they'll get to repeat the down. War Eagles looking at 1st and 15 now on this drive. Same formation with the running back behind the quarterback in shotgun. It's a play action pass. Quarterback rolls to his right, looks across the middle, has number 3 open, and he catches it at midfield, brought down at the Conroe 45-yard line. Big gain for the War Eagles as Tavion Jefferson with the big reception for Oak Ridge brings them into Conroe territory. With just under 10 minutes left to play in this game, we're tied at 35. We've gone back and forth all night. It's been a fantastic football game. Both teams really want this district win. Both teams want to recover from losses last week, and they are playing tough. To hand off to number 5, looking for some running room. Has to go back the other way. He is in the backfield. They are chasing him down. He has some room to run. He is past the 40 for positive yards. That is how you fight for everything you can get, and he nearly picks up a first down depending on the spot. They give him kind of a nice friendly spot on that one at the 34-yard line. That'll move the chains and give Oak Ridge a new set of downs. So what looked like he might get caught in the backfield for a loss has to shift gears. And what amounted to essentially a 12-yard run was more like a 22-yard run, considering he went sideline to sideline on that. Play action pass. Looking downfield, has a man, number 10, open in the end zone. That is a touchdown for Oak Ridge. A beautiful pass. Drops it in stride for the wide receiver, and they go up 6, 41-35. 8:59 left in this game, and with the extra point, they will go up 7 on the Tigers. Once again, kind of a shaky snap. Their holder is one of the MVPs of this game because he has gotten everything down in time for the kicker to make good of it, and that extra point is good. They go up 7. It's 42-35. And this is Oak Ridge's first lead since the first quarter. It has been a dogfight. They're up 7. There's plenty of time left for both teams to put some more points on the board, and that's what you can expect, as they have already put on quite a show for us tonight. 77 combined points this evening at Moorhead Stadium. 8:59 left to play. Conroe looking to turn this possession into 7 points to get them right back into it. And Oak Ridge all night has, probably out of necessity, just kicked high, short kicks, a couple out of bounds. One onside kick, which was successful. Again, not a traditional onside kick, but just high and short, unable to be controlled by Conroe. And then one that was nearly sort of the same result. Conroe expecting that short high kick. They don't have anybody deeper than 10 yards. This one recovered at the 40. It was kind of batted around. There's a flag thrown. Of course, Conroe is signaling that they've recovered it. There's no official call on the field, no celebration from Oak Ridge, and I do think it was recovered by Conroe. Not sure what the flag will be. If it stands where they recovered it, it would be at their own 39-yard line. Let's see what the call is coming out of this official conference. I'm not sure the officials are entirely clear on this call. Be interesting to see what this conversation they're having has to do with, and the actual call might clue us in a little bit, and looks like we're about ready to find out what this is all about. All right, so they wave it at us and say, our mistake, no flag on the play. We're going to take off from where they recovered it, and that will be from, now they've moved it back a bit. I'm not entirely sure that, Anybody knows quite where they're going to spot this. And it will be at the 39, maybe the 40-yard line. It'll be the left hash mark for the Tigers. They'll put it at the 40, so good field position for Conroe. With 8:55 left in this game, they trail by 7. A low snap, recovered by the quarterback, flushed out of the pocket, looking for room to run. Bounces off some tacklers, past the 40, original line of scrimmage, and might have fallen forward for a yard. Quarterback coming up a little gingerly, but he's going to stay in there. Javarius Hatchett. Hatchett is the second leading passer in district with over 1,000 yards of passing coming into this game. Operating out of the shotgun. Handoff. Dramico Green finds room to run up the middle, gets it up to the 45-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5 for Conroe, an important 3rd down with just over 8 minutes left in the game, trailing 7, 42-35. They'll have to pick up this 1st down. I don't think they have to. They'd love to pick up this 1st down. Hatchett communicating with his offensive line before getting back in shotgun. Puts 13 in motion. This is a shovel pass for no gain. Brought down right at the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up a 4th down. 4th and 5, they'll be forced to punt. And Conroe defense has had some good defensive stands this evening, and they're going to lean on their defense on this possession. They'll try to pin Oak Ridge back in their own territory and then force a 3 and out so they can get this back. There's 7.5 minutes left to play. Return man back on the 20. Punter gets this off. It's a good punt. He waves for a fair catch, and he will get it at the 14-yard line. They'll call it the 15-yard line with 7 minutes and 13 seconds left. Oak Ridge trying to hold on to their 7-point lead and looking for their first district win on the year. We'll see how they do this with just over 7 minutes left, if they're going to grow conservative and try to use some clock, or if they're just going to keep going for it and try to give themselves a 2-score lead. They're out of the pistol. It'll be a handoff. Running back caught behind the line of scrimmage, and that is one of the challenges of running that formation, because quarterback so far behind the line, and with the running back lining up behind him, when they are caught behind the line of scrimmage, that ends up being a significant loss. 4 yards, 2nd and 14 now. Oak Ridge does seem to be slowing down the game a little bit. They want to use this clock and keep the ball out of Conroe's hands. Conroe would love a turnover here, and that was a little bit of a difference coming into this game, as Oak Ridge had a turnover margin of -8. Not so bad with the turnovers tonight, however. It is a handoff and a big chunk of yardage for the running back there, who dropped a shoulder and got out to the 20-yard line, and gives them a little more manageable 3rd down. 3rd and 5 with just over 6 minutes left to play. The clock is ticking inside 6 minutes. We're at 5:45. Oak Ridge to the line with 1 second left on the play clock. They get the snap off. They're using that whole play clock, and the reception is made. The 1st down is achieved, and they'll move the chains and keep that clock going at 5.5 minutes. So Oak Ridge being very mindful of the clock and using all that they can on that play clock. 5:25 left. And a new set of downs. They're on their own 29-yard line. Taking their time, getting to the line. 5 seconds left on that play clock. They're very mindful of that. They're using every second that they can. Another handoff. Number 5 around the right side. He has some running room, and he goes out of bounds short of the 45-yard line, but plenty of yardage for that first down, and they'll move the chains. However, that will stop the clock at 4:49. So they mark him out of bounds at the 41. They'll have to get it past midfield for a new set of downs, but it is 1st and 10 for the War Eagles. They lead 42-35. We have less than 5 minutes left in this game. It's been a great district battle between these two teams. Back and forth. Oak Ridge with their 4th quarter lead being the first lead since the 1st quarter. Handoff, and he has plenty of room to run with some good blocks. He makes it around the left side before being forced out of bounds just short of the 50. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 48. So as much as they're trying to use the clock, they've run out of bounds a couple of times, which has stopped the clock, and that is giving Conroe some hope with 4:41 left. So with the clock stopped at 4:41, Oak Ridge will come to the line facing a 2nd and 3. It'll be a handoff, looking for some running room, some very patient running, likes to string it on the outside, gets enough for the first down before stepping out of bounds. That will give them a first down, but it'll also stop the clock at 4:34. Well into the 4th quarter. Oak Ridge regaining the lead, 42-35. Conroe defense looking for a stop or potentially a turnover. They need to get the ball back in their hands here as they lead, or excuse me, as they trail by 7 points. From the shotgun, it's another handoff, this time to the left side of the line. Patiently running, no room to run, maybe a yard gained on forward progress before being brought down, and this will keep the clock moving inside of 4.5 minutes now. And Oak Ridge has been using the clock on this drive, mostly keeping it on the ground and using almost all of their play clock on each play. 2nd and 9 here, and they're taking their time yet again. Both teams do have all 3 timeouts left. Conroe holding on to theirs, hoping to get the ball back here in the 4th quarter. Oak Ridge trying their best to keep the ball out of the Tigers' hands. This will be a pass flushed out of the pocket. Chase from behind. He's going to keep it over the 45-yard line before sliding. Trying to get an unsportsmanlike or late hit call after the slide, but I don't think there was anything nefarious about that. Positive yards, wisely slid. That looks like the clock stopped. And timeout Conroe. Conroe using their first timeout here in the 2nd half to stop the clock at 3:41. It will be 3rd down when we come out of this timeout. A very important defensive down for the Tigers if they can stop Oak Ridge here. I'm not so sure Oak Ridge would want to have a turnover on downs with this sort of field position for Conroe to take over. So if Conroe can make the 3rd down stop, we can anticipate a punt, and that would give the Tigers one more opportunity to try to tie this game. As it stands, they trail 42-35. 3:41 left in this game. Oak Ridge coming out of that timeout, facing a 3rd and 5. The ball is on the Conroe 44-yard line. And they will go with a 4 wide receiver set, 3 wide to the right. Running back to the right of the quarterback. He will take a 3-step drop, looking to throw. They're going to go deep. They got a man, number 3, open. This is a touchdown for Conroe, a late touchdown to give them a 2-score lead with 3:33 left in the game. Tavian Jefferson, the junior wide receiver, with the touchdown reception. A beautiful throw from the quarterback gives Oak Ridge a 13-point lead and looking to make it 14 with this extra point. This kick is up, and it's through the upright. So a 14-point lead for the War Eagles, 49-35 over Conroe. 3:33 left in this game. Conroe's got to get a quick drive together to score and get that ball right back in their hands. If Oak Ridge can hang on to this lead, it will be their first district win of the season. And their first win since the first week of the season, a 23-13 victory over Brenham. I want to take one more opportunity to thank the staff who gets this broadcast on the CISD Athletics YouTube channel. It begins with our site supervisor, Andrew Stewart, and includes Ryan Dickey, Robert Davidson, Benji Clay, Garrett Rickwalt, Eliana Del Aguila, and Abby Johnson. I want to thank them all for getting us on the air and for providing me with everything that I could possibly need to just sit up here and watch a good football game and get a chance to talk to you all about it. My name is Nick Kroll. I am from Crier Intermediate, and all my awesome students out there, I'll give a big shout out to, including D, who was amazed that he knew someone who was calling the games. So very difficult kickoffs to handle, and this will be no different. It is sky high and short, and it's going to be bounce fielded at the 25, through some arm tackles up to the 30, drag some tacklers with him to the 35, over the 35, and close to the 40 before being brought down close to the 45-yard line. And now it's getting a little chippy on the Oak Ridge sideline. No flags thrown. Cooler heads shall prevail. So 3:24 left. Conroe's ball. They got fairly good field position as they will take over. I'm not sure where the official spot on this is, but not quite as advanced as I thought they had made it. They'll mark it at the 38-yard line. Conroe's own 38. They'll have to have a quick score here. They trail by 14. There's only 3:24 left to play in this game. The snap is a bit low, but recovered by the quarterback. He's looking deep. He's being chased out of the pocket, caught from behind, sacked for a loss of a yard. A little slow getting up. Now the clock ticks close to 3 minutes. Conroe quickly to the line. They were trying for a big play. It did not develop before Oak Ridge could make it into the backfield for the sack. A loss of a yard. It's 2nd and 11. It's a good snap. Quarterback chased out of the pocket again. Looking very deep. He has number 3, and it's just out of reach. Number 3 with a good pattern. Had his man beat by a step. The throw just out of reach for Lewis Williams. Incomplete pass stops the clock at 2:41. And it'll bring up 3rd and 11. Conroe will have to make this 4 downs. So you've got some options here at 3rd and 11. You don't need them all on this. And it looks like Oak Ridge playing a bit of a drop back, slightly prevent defense. And this is incomplete to the sideline. And it'll bring up 4th and 11. This is the down of the game. Conroe only has 2 timeouts left. If they can't pick up the first down on this, it'll be a turnover on downs, and I do believe Oak Ridge would be able to run the clock at that point. Perhaps not totally run the clock, but they will be able to maintain their lead of 14. Looking for a big gain across the middle, through the hands of number 5, a little bit out of reach. That would have been a hard catch to make, and it's a turnover on downs. Oak Ridge taking over with 2:29 left in this game. They lead by 14. Conroe's hope at this point is for a quick turnover. Get the ball back in their offense's hand so they can hope for a quick score and get themselves back into this. It will be a challenge. Just under 2.5 minutes left in the game. Be surprised if Conroe does not use their 2 remaining timeouts just to see if they can't get something to work out in their favor. It will be a handoff. Number 5 makes a move to the right side and a big 8-yard gain, maybe 9 yards. Will keep the clock running. And it does not look like Conroe will use a timeout, down 14. So this should get us close to the end of the game with 2 minutes left. Oak Ridge leads 49-35. It's 2nd and 1. War Eagles deep inside Tiger territory. They're on the Conroe 28-yard line. They need a yard for the first down, and a new set of downs will effectively end this game with an Oak Ridge victory. Again, that would be the first district victory for Oak Ridge this year. And they pick up the first down, get it to the 25-yard line. It'll briefly stop the clock as they move the chains, and it does not look like the Conroe sideline will effort to stop the clock with one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So they haven't restarted the clock yet, although they have moved the chains. Although I haven't seen a call for a timeout. And now the clock is back to ticking to 1.5 minutes. The play clock down to 5 seconds. Oak Ridge lining up for the snap. And they're asking for the play clock to be reset, which they do. However, the play clock, or excuse me, the game clock ticks at 1:15, and that is to the advantage of Oak Ridge. Now they're calling a timeout Conroe with 1:12 left. It'll be first down coming out of this timeout, so Oak Ridge could kneel if Conroe wanted to use their final timeout. After that kneel down, it would be a second down, and that would then effectively be the game, because another victory formation kneel down would allow Oak Ridge to run out the game clock. So it looks like, barring any unforeseen Freaky Friday moment, we should have a final of 49-35, with Oak Ridge leaving Moorhead Stadium tonight with their first district victory and their first win on the season since week 1. So they come out of this timeout, Oak Ridge players slapping hands, starting to celebrate. They want to keep everything nice and clean on the snap. It will be a kneel down. We'll see if Conroe will even attempt to stop the clock. They will. They'll use their last timeout with 1:05 left. They haven't stopped the clock, although I saw the official wave it. The clock has been ticking since then, and the clock should have been stopped right around the 1:05 mark. I'm not sure what they're going to reset it to. nor do I think that it will matter all that much. Again, it'll be second down when they come out of this timeout with maybe just over a minute left. If they do add some seconds to the play clock or game clock. If they don't, we'll come out of this timeout with 57 seconds left to play. And the War Eagles will be able to take the knee and 2 more times. They've got the downs to do it. And they should leave here winners at 49-35. They're going to set the clock to 1:04. At least that's what I think I heard from the official, and they have officially reset that clock to 1:04. Conroe is out of timeouts. It'll be 2nd and 16. And Oak Ridge going to go into their shotgun victory formation. The snap, the kneel, and they'll have to do that maybe 1 more time, maybe 2 more times. It's 3rd down. So they'll have to do it 1 more time. Play clock starts at 40. It hasn't even started ticking down yet. The game clock is at 50. There's a 10-second difference. And it's about an 9-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. And they'll do it 1 more time, folks, and that will be the game tonight. This was a very exciting and entertaining game as both teams had swings and momentum, took the lead from one another, and that will be the final tonight here at Moorhead Stadium. Oak Ridge War Eagles walk away winners 49-35 over the Conroe Tigers. Oak Ridge with their first victory, district victory of the season. And the moment of good sportsmanship as the teams line up, exiting their sidelines to exchange high fives, congratulations, and a very, very hard-fought game on both sides of the ball from both teams. Thank you all for joining us tonight on the Conroe ISD Athletics YouTube channel. We will be here every Friday night to bring you the action. And I want to thank everybody who got us on the air and everybody who joined us tonight. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Enjoy this fall weather. Enjoy some college ball tomorrow and some NFL football on Sunday. We'll see y'all back here next Friday.